What's up everyone, welcome back to the Coral Reef Talk. Today we're going to take a look at Eshopps Tanklimate. What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now if you're new to the Coral Reef Talk, please consider hitting that subscribe button and check the bell icon to be notified each and every time I make a new video. Now I post videos every week to help you become a better reef keeper, and earlier this year I stopped by the Eshopps booth at Reefapalooza and talked about the Tanklimate, got a first-hand look at it and everything that Eshopps had going on. But now I'm able to get my hands on the Tanklimate, try it out. We're gonna unbox it, we're gonna take a look at it, and I'm gonna give you my review of Eshopps Tanklimate. Now be sure to stick around to the end of the video because I have something very special for you that you don't want to miss. So we're gonna take a look at everything Tanklimate today. We're gonna go through what it is, how you can use it, and just the cool little intricate details that Eshopps put into this acclimation box. But first, I wanted to give you a quick unboxing to take a look at the Tanklimate as soon as you open it up. So let's go ahead and get this lid off so we can take a look at what's inside. Now, once we remove the lid, this is your card for the warranty, and then right after that is your instruction manual for the Tanklimate. All right, now let's get into the box. Check this out, guys. This is the Eshopps Tanklimate. This is the M model. So this is the bigger one. It has the 3 dividers. We're gonna take a closer look at it, but let me move this out of the way and place it right down here so that you can see. So very well done with the packaging. All right, so this, you have a nice high quality acclimation tank. You can see it has the 3 separate sections already in it. Now we can open the lid here and it easily slides right off. You can have it on or off, and there's an O-ring across the top that will keep it in place whenever you have your fish inside. I should turn that around. If you have a little bit larger of a fish, you can remove one of the dividers and have him acclimating in here and still have a separate compartment for another fish. If you have a really large fish, you can remove the second divider and now you have one big compartment. Now it also came with a frag rack, so you can acclimate your coral frags as well. And all you need to do that is the little pegs that it came with, and you're just gonna screw them down here in the bottom, but inside. The bottom has holes in it, and we're just gonna screw the pegs down. Really easy to do. Everything is in place. Now, acclimating corals, you can acclimate corals for a couple of reasons. If you don't know where you want them in your tank yet, you can leave them in the acclimation box until you figure that out. Or if you have fish that you think might pick at certain corals, or if you want to see how the corals are doing, let's say you quarantined your corals beforehand and now you need to acclimate them to your tank and see how they're doing, you can do that as well. But to put this in, all you do is slide it down in, place it on top of the pegs, line up the holes, and then you get the screws, and the screws will screw into place here. And I'm just gonna do this one just for an example, but you have 3 of them. You screw them into the pegs, that secures it in. And then what's really neat about the Eshopps Tanklimate is now that you have a coral rack in there, not only can you acclimate your corals here, but there's space at the bottom to have macroalgae. So you can put chaeto algae in there to kind of help copepods grow, a little safe refuge for them. And let's put the lid back on. That slides right down and closes. Now you have space to acclimate a fish, coral, and have a little refugium as well. So there's a lot that you can do with the Tanklimate. Now taking a look at the lid, you'll notice that the lid has an O-ring right here on this little tab. Now the O-ring, when you close your Tanklimate, that allows it to kind of lock in place. So if you have any fish that you think might jump or push up on the lid, they're not gonna go anywhere. They're not gonna knock it off because the O-ring keeps it in place. Now, if you wanna change it back, it's real easy to do. Pop your lid off, unscrew all of your little pegs, pop out your little frag rack, and then unscrew the pegs themselves. There's one. Oh, there's two. There's three. Now you're back to the large open compartment. Then you can get your dividers, put them back in. They slide right in from the top, quick and easy. So now it's back to the 3 divided sections, and close your lid, and there you go. Now also you'll notice on the top that you have 3 holes on top as well. So if you have 3 fish, or maybe a large fish and a small fish, however you divide the inside, you can acclimate your fish here and then put your pegs on the outside, and you can do the same thing that you did with the corals on the inside of the box. Now you have a frag rack on top once we screw these in. So I'm just gonna lightly screw them in right here. And then once again, you line up the holes and you put your pegs in, or your screws in the pegs right here. Again, I'm just gonna do one for example, but now you can see that we've converted it outside here. Now we have corals on top, fish on the inside. It's just a very unique way at looking at acclimation boxes, and it works. I'm excited about this product. Eshopps knew what they were doing with the design of this, and just the fact that it's easy to set up for whatever use you're looking for, whether that be corals or fish. Having something quick and easy to use like this is a lifesaver when adding new fish to your aquarium. Now, if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you may know that my fish did fight some marine ick, and I had to catch all of the fish, put them in a quarantine tank, treat them, medicate them, and then upon introducing them back to the tank, I used Eshopps Tanklimate to help me gauge if they were ready. I had split it up into 2 different sections. I had the sailfin tang, clownfish, and the 6-line wrasse over here, but I had it set up like this. So I had 2 separate sections to keep them separated so I could look over them for just a couple of days. I didn't keep them in long. I just wanted to monitor them, make sure that they were doing fine, and that the treatment did its job before I released them back in the tank. So that's one way to use this. Another way is if you already have an established tank, when you're introducing a new fish into your aquarium, you can put them inside the Tanklimate, allow them to acclimate to your established fish. Not only that, but allow your established fish to acclimate to them. That way they can get used to seeing them in your tank. Maybe you have a feisty fish that might want to try to bully newcomers. You can put them in the Tanklimate, acclimate them to your tank, and get them ready for an introduction. These magnets are pretty strong. They hold up to a 1/2 inch thick glass or 1/2 inch acrylic. And you can, what's nice about it being magnets is that you can move it around where you want it in your tank. So it doesn't have to be all the way up high or all the way down low. You can get it where you want it. So like if you're acclimating corals, you don't want to shock them by having it up too high. You can move them around in your tank. So my overall thought for the Eshopps Tanklimate is that it's a great product that will help you acclimate your fish or corals to your aquarium. I mean, just the idea of having a coral rack alone that you can set up in multiple different ways to help acclimate your corals while you're acclimating your fish at the same time, I think that's a pretty awesome idea. And being able to separate the dividers that's a great idea as well. You can have a variety of different sized fish in there, and you're able to do like a small refugium if you wanted to. Just so many different things that you can do with this acclimation box, the Tanklimate. So I really enjoyed it. It helped me with my fish, getting them acclimated back to the tank. It's a very helpful aquarium product. If you don't have one, I highly recommend you picking up a Tanklimate from Eshopps. It really helped my fish get acclimated back to my aquarium. It helped me look them over, like I said, check them out to make sure that they were doing okay after they were quarantined. So that way you don't have to tear apart your entire tank to catch them again. So I think having a Tanklimate where you can have your fish to watch or even just to acclimate is a great product. It's a must-have if you're going to be adding a bunch of fish here shortly to your reef tank. Consider picking one up today. Okay, so now it's time for that special part of the episode. If you watched all the way to the end, then you're in luck. If you want to win your very own Tanklimate, this is what you have to do. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what kind of video you would like me to create next. I would love to hear from you guys, the audience. Give me some feedback, let me know your video idea, but also head on over to Patreon and donate to help support the Coral Reef Talk. So head on over to Patreon, leave me a comment down below, be sure you're subscribed, and one lucky winner will win their very own Tanklimate.